So I was dividing these. Where was it? This one maybe. No, it was the B. Maybe it was this B. Here I had 360. So that was my problem. Even if I said that it's supposed to be 180. Try to do this now. I hope it won't be a problem. Works. Hello. So that was the calculation, and then I ended up there. But I had just different numbers here. So I knew like many things. And then the AI had calculated it a different way, but I didn't try any other way. Did you do this some other way, somebody? No. Okay. So I had managed with the angle. I realized that then I had to do it with the Excel with certain commands. And then I had two of those angles here and on the other side as well. And then I managed to calculate the length of this part of the circle for both with the basically, of course, knowing this angle here. And then I even went through, because there is this equation there in the equation book, but it's like this. So you divide with 180 because you can, or then you can just have it like this and divide with 360. But then I had a problem that I had still put here 360. So then I got, of course, half of the length that was supposed to be for this, and then I got a lot smaller answer. So then I realized what was the mistake. And now I should always, when I have this in Excel, whatever values I have, I should get the correct answer when I have all the equations here correct, yeah? This is the advantage of calculating with Excel, of course. So you done this as well, this exercise, yeah? Yeah. Okay, so I'll try once more and I stick the value there. Round, and I even got my Excel to run for me. So, and now it should be like this. And it's correct. Well done. Isn't it nice when it tells you that it's well done? Okay. So, would you now have some preference which exercise I should go through?
There's one, but
What kind of? That one.
yeah,
Okay. That one is the sauva, I think. This one. Let's check. Yeah, it's this one. Okay, yes. We can go through this. It's interesting. I already calculated that here, but I can do it again as well with the Excel. I think when I was checking if these actually work. I could do it again. Maybe. Okay, so now I would have it there. And then I could put this there. Yeah, check. This one. Check. There. Some of you have even chemistry today. How lucky is that? Okay. In English, this might be called rod. So we have the, doesn't that sound quite manly?
wait, what?
The- yeah. You know, this mechanical engineering. Ugh. And then we have the some kind of distance here. And then we have those there. Well, maybe something goes here and then like this. And then we want to, well, here's the A and B and C and D. And we want to rotate the rod AB clockwise, which means that it goes like down, yeah? You drop it down, but this should still stay here. So obviously also this joint here has to go somewhere else if this like drops down. Oops. So the way it would look then after the thing would be, does it matter if I don't have exactly the same amount of, so the AB started from here and it went somewhere. How long was it? Well, some length. That went clockwise. That was the A, B, and then the rest went maybe like this. So then there was the BC. There would be, for example, C and the CD. The D would still be there. Oops, it doesn't quite fit. And then we wanted to know how many degrees this went, you know, how much this angle basically is here. So it starts from there, where it was, and here is the angle, and that's what we want to figure out. And then how to solve angles or anything, because we have the side lengths here, at least for this part. Well, obviously also for this part. So then maybe if we draw this kind of an, what was it called? Triangle, and the triangle without right angle. So it was it had some fancy name.
So
It's a triangle, but it doesn't have a right angle. Was it just what was it? What?
Isosceles, maybe?
But then the isosceles is that you have some same length, yes? What was it called? Okay, so this is what we already learned to solve. You know, we had this thingy, you know, the cosine. Ah, I have to open my equation book to get the correct expressions. No, cosine formula for a triangle. Well, it's just a triangle here. For example, cosine formula here. We could solve some angles. So then we would need to know for cosine formula, if we want to solve an angle from there, we would need to know the length of all the sides of a triangle. And obviously we now know this length and this length, but how about this length? But then it can be solved from this setting that this was earlier on, yes? Because now we know also that if I draw here the same side, the pink, then I can solve it easily from here because I know the lengths. I know this and I know this, yes? You know, like there is the right triangle now. And draw the right triangle and Well, for example, pink again. So there's a right triangle here. And I know I can solve this then, obviously. Okay, so then I would start here with the Excel. So I knew the lengths AB would be, okay, let's make it correct. 575. Oops. D would be CD would be and then this BC. No BC. AB plus CD would be so I know the length of that side. Obviously so then now I can mark that, for example, with X again. It's usually X. So then I would know the X, that would be, well, if I write it here first. So the X would be square root this AB plus CD squared plus BC squared. Yeah. And then I would write it here. That would be squirt. AB plus CD. Squared plus BC. Squared. And now this would be fairly simple. Yeah, then I have to calculate the whole angle. But of course, or I can first calculate also the small angle. Maybe I can calculate the small angle. I can mark it with beta, for example, if the other one is alpha. If I can find that symbol from my Excel. Yes, it's there. So do you see what I'm doing here? Yeah, it's Not very difficult, not very long as well. This would be easy to solve also, for example, in the exam. So my beta then. I can solve it, for example, with maybe with the ones that are, so I solve it with the tangent. Tan beta is the BC divided by the AB plus CD, from where the beta is the tan. And then I have to do it in the Excel. So I have to put first the degrees. Then I have to put the atan. And now I can put the BC divided by AB plus CD. Okay. That is reasonable number, yeah. Maybe. We'll see how it goes. Do I have here maybe a symbol for it? Yes. No. Yeah. And then I can progress to solve the, oh, well, I can mark it, for example, with, if I have the beta here, then I have it. I have the alpha plus beta. This is actually what I want to have as an answer. No, yeah. And then I have to, yes, no, I want to have the alpha, but now I thought the alpha plus beta. And that is, maybe I should first just write the cosine formula there. So my cosine formula is, I'll write it first. So it's the opposite, which was the yeah, and now the opposite here is the BC plus CD squared is AB squared plus this X. Well, I could have said it X to be AD as well, yeah? Well, I'd mark it with X. Squared minus 2AB X cosine. And this would be the A plus B. So you can, mark them, the way you, maybe it's not always the most simple. I did progress, so this is a bit maybe nasty now to write this to the Excel. I don't know. Guess I have to. So my cosine. Well, I'll write it. Do one more. U A B X cos. Minus plus ut squared. And then if I just write it direct, well, I can do one more. Then I still do the yeah, so this is a bit nasty to write this to the Excel. But first I have to do the BC plus CD, yeah? Oops. Then tell me if you realize that I'm doing something stupid. That might easily happen. Okay. This. Mhm. Yeah, of course. Then I can write this. Mhm. So I would need, oops, one more bracket. And then bracket. No, not yet any more brackets. No. I have to put the division and a bracket. Maybe this is this nasty to do with the calculator? Okay. Then bracket. And then the bracket. Whoa. Maybe this is correct. And then I can get the alpha. Yeah, and I have to put here the symbol still. So I know what I calculated. I do it again. And now I can even round it. Where do you find the rounding thing? Doesn't want to do it. Why? Okay. Okay. There's my answer. Do you think this is correct? Did you get it, the answer there to the exercise? I'm gonna try. No, not to this. Okay, I seem to have the correct stuff there. Whole number. Ah, well done. But would this be nasty to calculate something like this in the exam?
Longer than
Yes. There's quite a lot of these steps where you can easily make a mistake with just missing like some bracket or something. Yeah.
When it's all letters like that, then it's hard. But you know, if there's numbers there,
Yeah, and then there's of course just one set of numbers, but then you still have to do all these.
I think those exercises are possible to manage in the Excel, but yeah, the time might be applicable.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yes. Maybe I should even try now when I realize that I have to put these. I should get more time for the exam. Isn't that so? It's even nastier for you. It's just like, okay, let's just book a couple of more hours. Yeah, not great. Well, if you need to ask now something, if you'd wonder if why it was something done certain way, then I can calculate some other. I think I need some tea.
Part is for the then
Oops. Oh. I'm always making a mess with the tea. Now it will go everywhere when I didn't.
this bottom part is the cosine thing. This was different letters. I don't know what I was thinking, sorry.
And then if you round it the other way, there was this then you have to do the same stuff, but the other way around. But this is not the only way that you round it in this exercise, because there was the original exercise was that you round it clockwise or counterclockwise.
How do the angle plus the, you know, the very bottom?
Because if I do this with the cosine formula,
Yeah.
this is the angle that I get. You know, the whole angle here.
Yeah.
And now it just looks a bit nasty because it's in two parts.
Yeah.
So I knew that I wanted to have this angle. But I was able to solve this angle easily from this right triangle, and this angle also pretty easily from the cosine formula.
Yeah.
And then I can just get this angle, of course, when I take this off this whole angle, because from the cosine formula I get this angle that's opposite to this side. Yeah, I think, yes, I even have the correct brackets there. Okay. So maybe I'll calculate some other now. What would that be? So we have already done this. This, I think I did, maybe. Which ones did I calculate here? I did this. I did this. Then there was the Salia. Did you already do this? What is this? Preview. This is pretty. Did you already do this? I don't know if it's really hard.
No. Mm.
Should I do this?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do it next. So, my the TV is pretty easy as well. It's not that long. Yeah. Did you do the TV? Yes. Or the
Yeah,
screen?
dimensions, what should I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's was yeah. Well, if you ask from the friend knows correctly how to do it, yeah. Because that is what I first tested with the friend, and then I realized that okay. Now these geometry exercises are a little bit too easy. But this is my side. At least when I asked the friend to do that, he was pretty fast. And it explained it quite well, I think. Well, okay. Maybe. Well, let's just put another. Do I have to? How do I get another sheet? So I know certain things. Yeah, I know this. That length and that length. So then I can start somehow here. This is to do quite a lot with the equation book equations. Again, what did I do? So I can, for example, when I know the big R, so this is tank. I know the big R and the small r. Obviously, I get some kind of a right triangle again, yeah? So there would be the big R and the small r. Like, for example, as you see, and this would be the big R, yeah? And this would be the small r. And then I would get the length until this part here. I could start with that, yes? So this length here, I get with this. It can be x. Okay. So my x is square root of big R squared minus small r squared. So as you see in these geometry exercises, this right triangle is actually really useful, yeah? And start writing here these stuffs. Big R was 5.4. This is meters. Whoops. Now I have some problem. Have to formulate the cell. Format cell. Oh, it has to be, come on, number, decimal, okay, whatever, how many decimal places, but 5.4, it can't be any. What? Now I understand why it does this. I'm using the wrong, I have to use the comma always, yes? In Excel. Okay. In the stack, you always use the dot. And in the Excel, you always use the comma. Yes. So this is. Excel is nice, as you see. It's really calculating by hand is not that. But then certain things you can just calculate by hand. Or then even because like this AI thing makes everything a bit complicated now. Of course, then these calculations could be done by Excel also in the exam, as long as people don't use AI. So then that should be some safe exam browser or what? Where you're allowed to use Excel. Or I don't know.
Yahoo just lets us, like, you just watch it.
Maybe it's better just to calculate by hand and have simple enough calculations so that you don't have to do really a lot with the hand calculator. But I don't know if I managed to plan it that way. I just have to take that kind of exercise where it's not that many steps. Okay, so now I have the X, which would be meters. Then. So now I can already calculate some volume here if I want. Obviously, because I would know like I can calculate the volume of this tank without the heads. The heads make it a bit more complicated, but they have an equation as well, yeah? So for example, if I get wild, I can get the volume of the, what is it called? Cylinder. Already. Let's make this a bit longer, which would be just the height of the cylinder times the area of the bottom, which is the height, 2 times x times the b and times this small r squared, yeah, because that's the radius of this circle here, yes, which is in this picture. Small r squared. And now I already got that in cubic. Oops, I can't. Just mark it like this. Okay, and then now I have to start with the volume of the heads. And then I just check from my equation book what information I would need there. There's one. It is fast as people come and go. Okay, so the heads, where can I find it? I can find it. I think we did something similar somewhere. It's the sphere segment of a sphere, and I need a volume for it. A sphere volume, but segment of a sphere volume. So now I need to know the radius, which I already know there. That's the radius, yeah. This whatever rho. Then I need to know the height. And that's it. Okay, so now my height here, this height of this segment, what is it? It must be the height of this segment must be the r here, you know, that goes sort of the big circle radius. That would, if I would turn it to this until here, it would reach until here, yeah. So that to get this height here, I have to diminish the subtract this x from this big R, yes? So I will just write here, what do I need? So I have the x, I have the volume. I already know volume cylinder. That's what and I just use there the normal equation. Right, yeah, it's even right cylinder, which is the bottom length. Is the bottom area times the height, and my height here was 2x. I could have even made it here, so I could have put here the height. Well, I didn't. Whatever. 2x. Then now I know that I need the small height. I'm gonna mark that with the height h, and that would be the big R minus x. That would be meters again. And then, clean your data with Copilot. And then I know that from my equation book that to get the volume of a segment of a sphere, I just put here, for example, segment. I need certain data, and in my equation book it says it this way. Then there was some rho and height plus 1/6 p and height in a power of 3. Wow. So here in the way I mark it, this rho is the small r. This height I marked with height h in my Excel. Here now it's not maybe that clear because I had another height there as well, but it was the height of the whole cylinder. And now I can just put it to the Excel, yes? Do you follow what I'm doing, sort of? So volume segment then is 0.5 times b times little small r squared times height plus L1 divided by 6 times b times this height in the power of 3. And that's how it should go. That's what my equation book tells me. That's not really. This is now in cubic meters. So the cylinder, of course, was a lot more than the heads. Maybe this makes sense. And now the volume of the tank is then this cylinder volume plus 2 heads, yeah? Head. That's it. Cubic meters. To round that. So I take this there, and then I can put it Okay. And then I can put it in my yeah. So what have I written here? Cylinder segment volume tank was cylinder plus 2 times volume segment. And let's put it there. That wasn't too bad of a calculation, yeah.
Where did you get it? How do you?
Okay. The height. So the height of the
Say,
segment here. Yes. So the height of the segment. Yes, I didn't write it there. I just wrote the volume of the segment. So there was the volume of cylinder. Then there was I calculated the X and the height of the whole tank. Maybe I'm able to draw it. The tank here. So this was 2x, the whole thing. So then I knew this length also from the center to here. And that, maybe that could be some other color. To here, and that was the big R, yeah. Whoops, not B. It's weird how the brain works. You say R and it becomes B. Okay, so then this height there, now this is really small picture. This height there, then this height, yes. That would be then this R minus X, yeah. Because the X was here. So X was this length from the center to the start of the sphere.
Yeah.
And the R was the length from the center to the end of the square surface here. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was a good question. So you know how the television thing is calculated because of the friend? Yeah. Did you do the television? But you can ask the friend. It knows it correctly. I tried. It knows everything correctly though, for sure. Hmm. This wasn't too bad. Do you want some other exercise still?
Yeah. But
That one we calculated. We calculated this, and this. This we didn't yet. And then there's also some other, but I don't remember what these are. Well, this is not difficult either. You just have to use some equation. It's a bit boring, but it's maybe it's a little bit of work. Did you calculate this already? What?
no. But you say that's good either.
Well, you just need this. For sure that your friend will tell you as well, but you just need the equation of the yes, this, and then you have to area surface comes from there because it says how much metal you need for these. So it's basically using this equation here.
Could you show me the best? Just circle.
Yeah, that's super easy. Yeah. That's it's this this equation here, power of the point in respect to the circle. So if there is some point, obviously inside a circle, and you draw some lines from the other edge of the circle to the other edge and the other way around, like was done there, then the length of this first part times the length of this second part is equal to the length of this part times the length of this part. So you just get a simple equation there because you know the lengths. So you have something times x is the other whatever number times the other number, yeah? As long as they are on the correct line. I don't know which one was it here. Some of these. Yeah, no, it's not this. This is easy as well. Yeah, this we did already. Some. This. Yeah. So on this one, you would have how do I call this circle? Power of the point. And that's the power of the point. And now you have here the power of the point tells you that B X is AC. So in this one, it would be 9. X is 7. Oh, 1. 1. Which would be then 7 divided by 9. And that would be yeah. This is something I wouldn't have known this kind, but it's there. You can always trust the equation book.
So that's all we have to do for now.
Yeah, that's it. 1 decimal place, which would be 0.8.
And we have this one.
Nope. Well done. Oh, this we did. And there was a problem and I fixed it. Then, what is this? This is nice. This might be a good. It's pretty easy though. Did you do this? There's no. Yes? Yes. Is there a problem? Yes. Yes. To read again. Really? Yes, so we have to do many times, but it is not good. We have to do it very many times. After submitting, if we see that it's strong, that we can. But you've done it many times. Yes, we have to do all things again and again. This one question that we do have a lot something. Yeah, there is something, but in the other one, it's you can still do it again. Today it's interesting. Okay, so there's some kind of setting. I don't know what it is. So it looks like there is something with these quizzes now. Okay. How to fix that? So there's some different kind of setting. Maybe here. Interactive with multiple tries. Okay, I will check if they would have the same settings and then because that's like So it's with a question behavior. Aha, so it looks different here. It says some other thing, so maybe that helps if I say that. Maybe something else. Extra restrictions on attempts because there's nothing like that. No. Feedback thing. No, but this is something different. No. Restrict complete conditions, tax competencies. Listen conditions. No, there's nothing. Tax competency. Okay, let's try this. Now it at least has the same settings that I could find from this. Can there be some other kinds of settings? How do I know that? Layout grade. Grade? There shouldn't be any grade. At least I managed to change one setting there. Maybe it was that made it. That made it weird, the other question. Yeah. This is what I changed. The question behavior. That must be the most but I know that there is some other. Maybe that's it. Appearance. Yeah, here this is like you have many things here. Review options. Okay, so I'll put these ones exactly the same as the other one is as well. Better correct. And then later after so that there's nothing there. Marks. Now it should be exactly the same as the other quiz. Okay, thank you for the information. So have you been having problems now with the advanced? There's something that you can't read. I don't know, you can't redo something or. Okay, but this I don't need to change because this one was working perfectly. Okay, good. Yeah, it must be frustrating if you try something and then you try it many times and there's something weird. Okay, I guess we continue then on the next topic. And then you can also ask these because we are still here and those questions are open and we still have some review lesson as well. So if you want to ask about these geometry exercises or if there is something going on with them.
Bingo.
Yeah, for sure. You have also the good friend to manage with. I think I have to go somewhere else because you will continue with the bigger group in this. You had something in this classroom, didn't you?
And
Yeah, you had the English.
I don't know. Like,
What is the English then? Did you have it before?
no, I just don't go. Like,
You just don't go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but that's really good for some people who it's not the mother tongue. So some kind of like,
yeah, you know, I go to that class for English.
yeah. It feels weird. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Oh, I have to stop this.